Welcome back to another Bali COVID-19 update. This is May 7th, 2022, and my name is Bruce. There's a lot here today, and so I'm going to get going quickly. But first, let's take a look at the weather. The wind speed is pretty mild today, 9.1 kilometers per hour. The temperature 31.2 degrees Celsius, and the humidity is 71%. A little cloudy today, but a lot of sun, and well, it is nice. Another lovely day in Buleleng. Okay, first off, no news on visas. Still a lot of chatter going on and people making all sorts of guesses and saying they heard this and that from agents. The fact is, we've got to wait until at least Monday when immigration opens up, and hopefully Monday they will make some details available to everybody so people know what's going on. Until then, hang in there. And on the end segments today, I talk about the time, like this is Thursday or whatever. This is because I filmed that and it was going to be in Thursday's upload, but there was just too much stuff to put in, and so I didn't get it in, and so it is in today. Okay, let's take a look at the numbers. And the numbers are stable. But remember that this is still a holiday period, and so, yeah, the numbers are the numbers. We have to monitor them over the next couple of weeks as everybody is going back now. Traffic is heading back towards Java, and people that work or live here who went to Java are coming back, and so we're just going to have to see what happens with that. But the numbers are stable, and so what are they? National new cases, 245, up a little bit from the other day. National recoveries, 329. National deaths, 17. Okay, those are good news. Bali new cases, 15. Bali recoveries, 12. And deaths in Bali, 0. So good news on the numbers, still stable, and we'll see what happens, as I said, over the next couple of weeks. Okay, main story today. There's no one main story. This is a block of stories, and this is going to wrap up, hopefully, the naked people in Bali. And so I'm going to talk about what has been happening since Thursday's video. First off, let's deal with the Russian woman and apparently her husband. The Russian woman who takes nude photos in Bali turns out to be an investor. Yes, she has an investor visa, and so does her husband. So the Ministry of Law and Human Rights and Immigration went to work checking into the backgrounds of the people involved here, Alina and her husband, and found out that they have investor visas. Their investor visas are for PT Art Planet Evolution as their guarantor. And they entered Indonesia for the first time in 2020 and the second time in November 2021. So they founded PT Art Planet Evolution, and this is engaged in clothing and musical instruments. So these are not newbies. They should well have known that what they were doing was illegal and against the local culture. According to Pak Jamaruli from the Ministry of Law and Human Rights, this husband and wife admit that the viral photo uploaded to AF's personal Instagram account was hers and was taken on May 1st at Kayu Putih Banjar tourism object Dinas Bayan to a village Tabanan, and do not know that the tree is a sacred place in Bali. The husband and wife also admitted that they did not mean to disrespect Balinese culture because the motive in question was a photo with the theme of blending with nature, which according to her is included in their art and is used as a personal documentation, not commercial. Additionally, they also admitted that they did the act consciously and purely because of their own will without coercion from others. To account for these actions, the foreigner has undergone a traditional ceremony on Friday, May 6th at Tua Village, Tabanan, in accordance with applicable customary regulations. So yes, there was a ceremony held, and there's going to be more ceremonies held apparently. So let's take a look at that. Traditional village holds Guru Piduka ceremony because of Russian Caucasians' nude photos. So a number of traditional and community leaders in the Bayan traditional village finally got together and they agreed to accept the apology of Alina Fazleeva, a foreigner from Russia who took nude photos at this tourist attraction. So they accepted the apology, but they want her to also take part in ceremonies coming up. According to the Bendesa of Bayan Village, we sincerely forgive. We also do self-introspection. His party hopes that the Caucasian woman will later come and take part in these ceremonies when the group Piduka ceremony takes place. He said, we asked her to come and apologize here later before leaving for Dubai, because the information is that she wants to go to Dubai. Okay, that's interesting. The Bendesa said that they still need to consult with stakeholders in the village to determine an auspicious day for the ceremony. And he added that they can accept her apology because they're also going to take responsibility for this. They were at fault as well, he said. The consideration is that it is not only her who is wrong, we are also wrong. That is, we do not put up banners or boards that contain prohibitions or warnings. Now, I have seen warnings in some places before, and so he's saying we should have put some signs up there that say, I don't know what, no nude photos, no nude videos, I don't know, but they are getting together and they are going to post warnings up around, I guess, the tree in the temple that this is a sacred object and you are not allowed to do bad things there. And so as Russell commented the other day, I always say be kind to someone. This village is being really kind. And lest we forget the dancing naked Canadian, let's take a look. There's ceremonies being held to purify that area as well. Krama Batur traditional village, Kintamani district, Bangli, finally held a procession, a natural cleansing ceremony according to Balinese tradition on the eastern peak of Mount Batur yesterday. The ceremony was held to coincide with a Hindu holy day, and this is an effort to purify Mount Batur area after the incident of foreign tourists who danced naked at the top of the northern part of Batur some time ago, not that long ago. Spokesperson said, so with our abilities, we carried out the ceremony in the morning. The ceremony went smoothly. This is an important way for us to restore the sanctity of the area that's considered sacred. He regretted that there were unscrupulous tourists in the Mount Batur area. Therefore, he advised that anyone who comes to Batur area must uphold the norms. He admitted that people around Batur really expect the presence of foreign tourists. The reason is many residents live from the tourism sector. But he said, we regret that there are unscrupulous tourists who do not respect traditional Balinese traditions. You can hear all the noise in the background. This is from all the Mudik people who are here. So he added that he hopes that similar incidents don't occur again. He said, we are sad. So in the future, we will ask all parties to participate in monitoring tourists who climb Mount Batur. Otherwise, such problems will continue and they should not be taken lightly. So this has been all over the news and it's gotten out internationally. And as I said the other day, eventually the authorities are going to have to get involved in this. And authorities, I mean more than just immigration and the Ministry of Law and Human Rights. And sure enough, as you see in the photo, the governor has gotten involved. Alina Fazleev and Andrei Fazleev were severely punished. Alina and her husband, Andrei Fazleev, are considered to have no respect for Balinese culture. This was conveyed by the governor of Bali in a press conference on Friday. The two foreigners clearly did not respect Balinese culture and tarnished the name of Bali by their actions by taking naked photos in a sacred area. So the two foreigners are to be deported and immediately leave the Bali area at the first opportunity, the governor said. According to the head of the regional office of the Ministry of Law and Human Rights, Pak Jamaruli, who's been getting a lot of work lately, on the same occasion, he said that the results from the examination show that they carried out activities that endangered public order and do not respect the applicable regulations. So the administrative action taken will be in the form of deportation, according to Article 75, Paragraph 1 of Law Number 6 of the 2011 Immigration Law. Pak Jamaruli said, "We appeal to the public throughout the province of Bali to proactively monitor and report various types of violations committed by foreign nationals to the authorities so that firm action can be taken, and to all foreigners who visit Bali to always behave in an orderly manner by respecting the laws and cultural values of the Balinese people. Please enjoy the beauty of the island of Bali. But if you commit a violation, there will be no place to hide because every violation will be dealt with firmly." So, wow, Pak Jamaruli not mincing words, there will be no place to hide. So Alina and her husband are being deported, and what about old Jeff, the Canadian nude dancer? He too is being deported. Apparently, Jeff is in the immigration detention center along with Alina and her husband. So, well, they've got some people to talk to. Apparently, they can't deport Jeff right now, and so it's estimated that next week, according to Pak Jamaruli, he can be deported. Okay, on to some good news, not related to nudity. Emirates resumes direct flights to Bali. Yes, another airline coming into Bali. Good news. So the UAE flag carrier said in a press release on Tuesday that flight EK398, the first Emirates direct flight to Bali, landed on May 1st. Okay, so it's been almost a week. This was a half-day flight from the hub airport in Dubai, and they were greeted with the water cannon salute. And Emirates said that it is committed to operating 5 flights to Bali per week, and on July 1st, stepping up its operations to resume daily flights. Okay. And another airline coming into Bali. Daily VietJet air service, Singapore to Denpasar. Vietnam's Ho Chi Minh City is now connected by direct air flights to Bali. The commencement of service by VietJet Air started on April 28th. Okay, so I'm a little late on getting these stories about the airlines coming in here. The first flight landed with 201 passengers on board, and this is going to be a daily route. Wow. We get a lot of people coming in from Vietnam. I didn't know that. And the VietJet was also greeted with the water cannon salute provided by the airport fire brigade, and a large group of provincial leaders were also on hand to mark the occasion. The arrival of VietJet brings to 10 the number of international destinations now connected to the island of Bali. What are those? Singapore, Melbourne, Sydney, Tokyo, KL, Doha, Istanbul, Perth, Bangkok, and Ho Chi Minh City. And according to this article, VietJet is the 13th airline operating international flights to Bali. I read a different story about this, and it said 16, but they didn't list 16. It only listed 9. This lists 13, and it has a list here. So what are the 13? Garuda, Singapore, Jetstar Asia, KLM, Scoot, Malaysia Airlines, Jetstar Airways, Qatar Airways, Air Asia, Turkish Airlines, Thai Air Asia, and Qantas. Okay, so let's just take a look at the general numbers now for people coming in, because wow, it is busy, busy, busy. Just like I said in the last video, Bali is jumping. 129,663 domestic tourists enter Bali via Ngurah Airport, up 91%. So the Eid holiday is used by residents not only to go home, but to go on vacation, to come to the island of the gods. And this is shown by the entry of about 129,663 passengers from outside Bali. According to the chairman of the Indonesian Hotel and Restaurants Association, PHRI Badung, the number of tourists estimated to be coming here, the number of domestic tourists was estimated to be 13,000, but in fact, 13,000 a day. But in fact, it's been much more than that. The number has actually reached as high as 18,000 people per day. Compared to the previous year, the number of visits increased by 3,331.92%. Wow. And so we've got a lot of domestic tourists here. International tourists are coming in, and the numbers, I talked about them the other day, up a little over 2,000 a day. And right now, That's good. And we're going to be seeing more and more of those, I think, as we come up to some traditional vacation times in US, Canada, and Europe. According to this article, yesterday there were 16 international planes landed with 3,919 passengers. Okay, so that's not bad. According to the spokesperson, compared to last year, it's better now. Because last year, on the same day, we had 0 international tourists. Right, we got to remember where we're coming from. Okay, so we've got tourists coming in by plane, by car, by ferry. They've been coming into Bali, and this has been great for the economy. The numbers are going to drop off as people go home, of course, but this was a big, huge boost to the economy. I don't know, it would be interesting to hear about what's going on in Lombok, for example. Have the numbers in Lombok gone up during this period too? Are there more tourists showing up, domestic and international in Lombok? Leave a comment below. And so now we know we've got tons of tourists coming in. How is that translating into action on the ground? So now we'll take a look at Ubud. Ubud tourism stretches. Lodging occupancy reaches 78 to 80%. Wow, just think about a month ago. Domestic tourists and foreign tourists have been seen all over the road. Souvenir shops and restaurants that have been closed and some that have been turned into grocery stores are now operating normally, focusing their services on serving tourists. In addition, the tourism drivers, who've been invisible for more than 2 years due to changing professions, from being traders to construction workers, we're now seeing there again. And the complaints have been coming in already, as I said in the introduction. People complaining today in Ubud about they're charging too much money. Things are just starting up again and they're back to their old games. And this has been an argument that has been going on for a long time. The drivers gathered outside Puri Agung Ubud along the road in Ubud, waiting for tourists to use their services. In the midst of the rise of Ubud tourism, a classic problem is again seen, namely the prohibition for online drivers. Right, online drivers are not wanted in Ubud. On Wednesday morning, an online driver was seen carrying passengers in front of Puri Agung Ubud. Suddenly, a conventional driver, a traditional driver, I think, approached and asked the online driver not to carry passengers to Ubud anymore. And Puri Agung Ubud has been reopened, and there are performances taking place there once again. Good news. However, a souvenir trader in Ubud, Pak Ketut, said it's very unfortunate when tourists are just coming in and it's getting crowded. The market's been demolished. Yeah, that made a lot of sense. Because of that, he was forced to sell on the sidewalk. And I saw a video the other day, I forget whose video it was, in Ubud, and it was on Jalan Kajang, which is a place where I usually stay, and it was full of traders selling their stuff along the street there, that little road that goes up there. He said, buyers have increased. We hope that the government will intensify promotions so that there are more tourists. Tourist holiday moments in Bali have an impact on the occupancy rate of villas and hotels in Ubud, yes. The occupancy rate has reached 78 to 80%. Wow, I'm not gonna go down to Ubud. This was stated by the head of the PHRI in Gianyar, Pandey Adit, on Wednesday. However, Adit predicts that this will not last long because people will be going home, and so it's predicted that May 6th, numbers will start decreasing. May 6th is tomorrow, Friday, right? And people will go back Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because a lot of people got to go back to work. And just to wrap this up, more cases of hepatitis have been found in Indonesia and here in Bali. Bali alerts to mysterious hepatitis report yellow children's eyes and skin. The Bali Provincial Health Office has started to carry out routine monitoring of residents regarding the mysterious emergence of hepatitis disease that affects children in Jakarta. The Bali Provincial Health Office is being vigilant and asks residents to report if their children's skin and eyes are yellow. According to the head of the Bali Provincial Health Office, Dr. Nyoman Gede Anam, he said, currently this disease does not exist in Bali, and the point is that we in Bali must be vigilant and routinely monitor the community. So they're being proactive here in Bali about this, and that is great. And I will be checking my granddaughter's eyes every day. Dr. Anam said that his party did not want to be late in anticipating this. As I said, they're being proactive. His party cooperates with district, city health offices, health centers, and health workers in villages, providing communication, information, and educated related to this disease, and giving that information to the community so everyone is aware on the island. Time to wrap things up. That's it. If you found this video helpful, informative, scintillating, amusing, non-irritating, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Updates are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and a cooking video on Sundays. And any news about the visas and big changes affecting residents and people wanting to come into Bali, I will do special videos on that. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Stay safe. And I will see you tomorrow with a cooking video.